and welcome to another Japanese in 5, where we take 5 minutes out of your extremely important day and we teach you some Japanese. And trust me, if you do it at least 5 minutes every day, you will make progress. Today's topic is extremely important. It's how to make any verb, phrase, or verb itself into a noun. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to quote-unquote nominalize a noun? I hate that word, but why would you want to? Because you want to say something like, swimming is difficult. Learning Japanese is fun. You can say things like that. You can describe the action itself if you can turn it into a noun. So there are two ways to do this. Two ways, and a lot of people get confused about them. Let's look at them. Iku koto. By you taking the dictionary form of a verb, iku, to go, and adding koto after it, it means going. Going. Now we can say something like going is fun, going is hard, going is going to be rough, all sorts of things like that. And another way to do it is ikuno. There's ikuno and ikukoto, and we'll do both versions to show you a little bit about what they mean. Here's the first one. Ikukoto ga tanoshii desu. Ikukoto ga tanoshii desu. It means going is fun. Iku koto ga tanoshii desu. And by the way, we're supposed to have a period here, which would be that little circle thing. But when you have that circle thing on a PowerPoint, it pushes the spacing all awkward, so I don't do it. So just understand that you should have a period here, okay? But iku koto ga tanoshii desu just means going is fun. If we take the same sentence and change the koto into a no and say iku no ga tanoshii desu, again, the meaning doesn't really change. And I'll explain to you why it doesn't really change, even though you might have heard something different. Because let me just say now, if you're in a conversation and you say, iku koto ga tanoshii desu, going is fun, or iku no ga tanoshii desu, both ways are perfectly understandable to mean going is fun. Now, I have heard the opinion of other teachers is that this one, iku koto ga tanoshii, is like a general statement saying going itself is fun, and whereas this one, iku no ga tanoshii desu, is a little bit more personal. Well, for me, going is fun. But while I agree at the same time, I also disagree, because I'll show you later how we can change that up. Let's look at a bigger sentence using koto in a nominalized state. Nihon ni iku koto ga, going to Japan. Now we've taken iku koto by itself and added nihon ni iku and made that into the phrase. Going to Japan. Nihon ni iku koto ga watashi no yume desu. I'm sure this is true for many of you. Going to Japan is your dream. And it was, well, I was there before it was my dream, but going to Korea was my dream before I went to Korea. All right? Nihon ni iku koto ga watashi no yume desu. Now if you said Nihon ni iku no ga watashi no yume desu, both of those have been made into a personal thing, right? Even though koto could be argued that should be a little bit more generalized, like, well, you know, going to Japan is a fun thing. We're going to Japan, but if you say watashi no yume desu, you've made it personal. So really, I feel that argument gets sort of nulled out, all right, depending on the sentence. All right, so now let's look at another one. Nihon ni iku no ga muzukashii desu. Well, for some people this might be true. It's a lot of money. Could be up to like $1,400 to go to Japan, from my area at least. $1,400? Wow, you better go for like a month if you can. Nihon ni iku no ga muzukashii desu. Going to Japan, what about it? It's difficult. Let's look at this one. What about this? Nihongo o hanasu no ga kantan desu. Nihongo o hanasu no ga, or Nihongo o hanasu koto ga kantan desu. Speaking Japanese is easy. It is for me, and if you keep studying, it totally will be for you. Here's a longer, more complicated sentence perhaps for some of you. Yasai o taberu koto ga juyou desu. Yasai o taberu koto ga juyou desu. Eating vegetables is important. Yasai o taberu koto, the act of eating vegetables. What about it? Juyou desu. Now, I want to make a point here. You will hear koto used in a lot of ways and no ga used in a lot of ways. For example, this sentence right here is a little bit different style. We're not using the dictionary form. We're saying the shitai form, which is the tai form, which means want to. So you can say, ichiban shitai koto wa, the thing you want to do most. It's important to know that no ga and koto ga can be translated to thing when it works, when you need it. So, 一番したいことは何ですか? What's the thing you want to do most? 一番したいこと wa nan desu ka? Now, if you're talking about what's the thing you want to eat most, remember, that's a different thing. I don't have that example here. But the thing you want to eat is not koto, because koto is for abstract things. Mono, which is a physical thing, would be used there. So you could say, ichiban tabetai mono wa nan desu ka? Ichiban tabetai mono wa nan desu ka? Do you see how this is a little bit different than nominalization of a verb? It's not exactly the same thing. All right, let's move on. Oh, by the way, you could say, ichiban shitai no ga, or shitai no wa nan desu ka? Notice that we've changed it to a wa because we're stressing ichiban, the one you want to do most. I feel like there's a hair right here that I'd like to get rid of. All right, let's continue. I think we have 1 or 2 more sentences max. All right, here we go. This is a long sentence for the people that are studying Japanese longer than most. Let's go and look at this one. Let's see if you can read it first. I'll give you a second. It's important for me right now. I'm sort of changing my diet, but let's see. 砂糖が多く入った食べ物を食べないことがダイエットする人にとっては重要です。Very long sentence. Let's just break it up. 砂糖が多く入った食べ物。Food with a lot of sugar in it. 砂糖が多く入った食べ物。Okay, what about it? を食べないこと。Not eating. Notice we've taken 食べること. We've turned it into its negative. 食べないこと。食べないこと。What about it? What about not eating food with lots of sugar about it? Well, ダイエットをする人にとって、for people on a diet, what about it? 重要です. There it is, and I seem to have a repeat here. And that is the end. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more Japanese, check out the book series Japanese from Zero, available very cheaply, very cheap, if that's correct English, cheaply, on Amazon.com. I'll see you all on the next Japanese in 5. Bye-bye.